everybody, it's Steve Taylor. I'm here with Tom Cole and Terry Crosby. It's another fun show. We are doing the Stars of the Week, but this time we are focusing on the main stars, the college, what would you call them? The playoff winners.
Steve Taylor bowl predictions.
It's our bowl predictions.
National
these
bowl predictions.
Are the four teams that are in the playoffs. We all know about Georgia. We all know about TCU. And everybody around here definitely knows about Michigan and Ohio State.
Right.
Now, as a Michigan fan, you know, I can say on camera here that I think Ohio State got lucky and backdoored their way into this year.
Right.
I'll probably make some enemies, and some folks will say a few things. But everybody else kept losing.
Yeah,
right? I mean, USC, they're going to make it. Tennessee, Alabama,
that's right.
all these other teams, they were moving up, and Ohio State got in. Now, I will also say as a Michigan fan, I think it would be amazing to play the Buckeyes again in the championship.
Right.
And that could happen.
Yeah,
but first, Ohio State's got to take on Georgia, and Michigan's got to take on TCU.
Right.
So, let's talk about these first two games.
All right.
You guys been around the football game for forever. You know, you watch a lot of football. We talk a lot, you know, about college football. Even though I'm a Michigan fan, I'm not just going with my heart on this one. I think Michigan is not going to have any problems with TCU. I've looked at some of the way they line up, you know, and the defense, how the defense stacks up against the offense, vice versa, how the offense stacks up against the defense. Michigan wasn't predicted to do anything this year after they lost, you know, a couple guys in the first round, a couple big players in the defensive line, but, you know, they had a lot of guys to go to the NFL. But I think they're a better team this year than they were last year, and I think J.J. McCarthy has a lot to do with that. I think they've had a little taste, you know, what they got last year. They weren't happy with that blowout loss to Georgia last year, so they're coming out. They came out stronger. They got one goal in front of them, and that's to win the whole national championship. So I think TCU, they're going to have a tough time with Michigan. So I'm saying Michigan's going to win that game. I'm going, I'd say it's like 42-24.
Okay.
What do you think, Terry?
Nice pick. Yeah, you know, I'll have to agree with you on that. I'm not a Michigan fan. As you know, I'm an Ohio State fan. I've been an Ohio State fan. But if this is possible, I love both teams, to be honest with you. And I think Michigan has a team that is talented-wise, that's more talented than in previous years. I really do. They play, and it showed against top competition. You know what I mean? And I think you're right. I don't think TCU is ready for the power of Michigan. I don't think they're ready for their power running game. And also, that McCarthy's a bad boy, man. I don't care what you say. He can go, right?
That's true.
And I'm not sure that TCU can take the pressure. TCU likes to put the ball in the air, okay? And Michigan has some lockdown defensive backs. So I think they're going to take that passing game away from TCU.
Cool. So you're saying Michigan?
I'm saying Michigan.
What's the score?
I'm going to give it 27-10.
27-10. All right.
I'm going to give it 27-10.
What do you think, Tom?
Well, I think you guys are pretty much spot on it. I think that Michigan's offensive line is incredible. I think they beat people up in a football sense. I think into the third and fourth quarter, when you play against the Michigan offensive line, you see what they do to the defensive fronts. They just wear them out. They just flat out wear them out. So the offensive line, to me, is the key. One thing about TCU, though, don't sleep on their quarterback. I watched him this year, and I want to tell you what, he's the real deal. He can throw. He's a great runner. He's an inspirational leader. Just don't sleep on him. He can make plays, but I think you guys are right. I think there's just too much physicality up front for TCU.
Score, what do you think?
Like a 42-28 kind of deal, Michigan. Yeah.
So it's funny, Terry only put 10 points up, which Michigan's defense could lock them down, but we'll see. I think so. We're all saying Michigan.
Yeah. We're saying Michigan.
Next game, Georgia, Ohio State, and man, Georgia is tough.
For me, that's a no-brainer. So
what do you got?
I might not even get in this conversation.
Let's hear.
I'm going with the Bulldogs. I'm SEC all the way.
Even so, you got your SEC, but I know you love Ohio State, but you're still saying SEC. Georgia.
But we have to be honest in our predictions, right? And my prediction is Ohio State cannot beat Georgia. That's what I'm thinking. That's my thoughts. This one's going to be pretty close. I would think. I'm thinking 35-31.
Okay. All right. What do you think?
You know, Georgia, you guys are right. They're special. Their quarterback is an interesting story to me, 5'11". You wouldn't think he could do the things that he does. He's 26 years old.
Yeah, I'll say he's also like 30 something. He's 26.
He's 26 years old. He's seen a lot of defenses. He's seen a lot of things. He is a unique talent. I think the play callers for Georgia are unique when they put 3 tight ends on one side and they do some creative things. I think Ohio State's going to play better. I think they didn't have their best punch against Michigan, so they're going to be motivated to play better. I don't know what's up with Stroud. He hasn't seemed right the last 3 or 4 times I've seen him play.
They're out of sync, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. There's
They're out of
something
sync.
not right there, and I don't know if he has been. Sometimes people have these injuries that you don't know about.
Right.
I would look for him to come out and kind of redeem himself and have a great game. I think it could be a close deal, a 31-21 kind of deal.
Yeah.
But Georgia, I think, is a better team.
And that's what you have to think of too. Will they be able to cope with Georgia running attack?
Right, right. That's absolutely correct.
I'm going on my own here.
Yes.
I'm gonna take Ohio State.
Okay.
And here's
Oh.
why. Here's why. I think they had a couple guys hurt in that Michigan
They
game.
did.
And I know a couple of their guys that are going to the draft have opted out, of this game. But I do believe Ohio State can prepare. Coach Day. A lot of guys. And I'm a Michigan fan. A lot of guys have been hating on Coach Day for losing 2 years in a row.
Right.
We got to replace him, all that stuff. I think giving him some time to prepare.
Yeah.
Georgia's tough. No doubt about it, Georgia's tough. I think I'm doing this mainly because I'd love to see a Michigan-Ohio State
Yeah, there you
national
go.
championship.
There you go.
I'd love to see it. I think Georgia's tough, but I think Ohio State can pull something out, maybe a rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah.
You talk about some trick plays,
Yes,
and
yes.
they've got athletes.
Right.
We know that
No
they've
question
got athletes.
about
it. Right.
So let's say like 35-28.
Okay. I
Ohio
love it.
State.
All right.
Wow.
So
China, mark that
Nice.
down. The boss is in on the upset.
I'm going for the upset.
Okay.
So national championship though. So you guys say Georgia, Michigan.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming both of you are going to say Georgia over
I'm
Michigan.
going to say Georgia for sure.
You say SEC?
Yeah. I had to think about that, boss. Yeah, but I got it. It's just the street, the speed, the strength,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
everything, all the tangibles that goes
Well,
into it. Yes.
I agree, and I said Georgia's tough, but if Michigan, Ohio State play in the national championship, I got to go with Michigan. I
Wow.
think they do it again. I think beating 2 teams, the same team twice in 1 year is
Right.
tough. I think it would be an amazing blow to Michigan
Yeah.
if they lost
Yeah.
to Ohio State in the
Right.
national championship. The whole season, best season
Jim-
ever, right? 14 wins.
Jim
That
Harbaugh
would
may,
get
Jim
suicidal.
Harbaugh may never get out of his pajamas.
It could be
He might
very
get in
tough.
his pajamas, and that's the end of it.
But I'm saying this is Michigan's year. I think they beat Ohio State in the national championship, and they bring it home.
The key here to this whole thing really for Ohio State is Stroud.
Yes.
And we're saying he didn't play great. I mean, his numbers would indicate that.
And his receivers.
Yeah, you're right, Cross. But his
And-
numbers would indicate, well, he is playing pretty well. But we're used to him
Oh, yeah.
playing at such a high
Right.
level. If he can get back up there, and Cross, you're right. If the receivers dropped 2 or 3 or 4 balls that were key in the
Right.
Michigan game.
Yes.
So if the receivers play up to their caliber, Stroud lifts his game again, then it's anybody's.
But you know what? If that happens, they're an entirely different team.
They are.
That is the Ohio State the way
Well,
we've
I
seen
think
all
right.
year.
they've got the number 1 receiver in the country. I'm surprised he
Yes.
didn't win the award the other night
Yeah.
for best receiver. But Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
He's a game changer. Michigan locked him down. They shut him down.
Yeah.
I think they run. They call some different plays. I think they get Harrison in the game more.
Right.
And I think who knows what could happen.
Yes.
So
Yes.
hey, hope you enjoyed it. College football is fun.
I love that, man.
We
I
can't
like
wait
that.
for the playoffs, especially when you got both Michigan and Ohio State in the playoffs. So a lot of local roots. Everyone's going to be watching those
Absolutely.
games, and I think deep down everybody would love to see a rematch of Michigan Ohio
That
State.
would be great.
It would be fun.
That would be
It'd be a
great.
lot of fun. So hey, hope you had some fun. Let us know what you think too. We'd love to hear from you. Comment below. Tell us the scores. Tell us who you think's going to win. And all I can say, one last thing: Go Blue! Have a good one, everybody. We're
Merry
out of here.
Christmas, everybody.